Hi, welcome back to another video, and today I'll be taking a look at the early voting data for New York State. Now, I know what you're thinking. Early voting data, why should we care about New York? New York hasn't gone red since 1984, I believe. If we go back here. Yeah, 1984. It went to Ronald Reagan in 1984 by 8 points, and since then, it hasn't gone red since. Uh, Not for Bush, not for McCain, not for Romney, and not for Trump. So uh, Donald Trump lost it to Biden by 23 points this time, or last time in 2020, and he is already set to lose New York by 14 points this time around to Kamala Harris. Now, it could be more, it could be less, probably more. I predict probably over 20 points around where Biden won it. And but this polling is a lot closer overall than it was in 2020. Now, you look in 2020, look at that. Biden won it by, or Biden was leading in the polls in New York by 29 to 30 points. However, it is important to note that the polls in 2020 had Joe Biden way ahead than the results showed. Biden was leading Trump in these polls in New York by 29 points to 30 points. The actual results, 23 points. So lower than what he was leading by in the polls. So just remember. So I don't think that these polls are going to, be that accurate for Kamala Harris. I still think she'll get more. I do believe that Trump is being overfavored in these polls, and that Harris will probably get more on election day. And there aren't really these much polls for New York. She obviously leads them all by solid margins, wipeout margins. But still, I think she'll definitely win more in New York by 15 points. Not around California margins, but probably a little above 20 points around Biden margins. Like I said before, Biden margins. Now, anyways, taking back to this New York data, this on NBC News. So far, 695,000 mail-in and early person votes casted. So this is by party registration. 58% are Democrats, 22% are Republicans. This is expected. There are more Democrats, a lot more Democrats than Republicans in New York State. Democrats usually are favored and win a lot in New York when it comes to governor races, Senate races, or presidential races to happen in New York. So requested ballots, 890,000, 57% registered Democrats, 19% registered Republican. So you're seeing these numbers again, very good for Democrats. Now let's look at age, which, look at that. That's interesting. So 18 to 29-year-olds, 9%, 30 to 39-year-olds are 9%, 40 to 49-year-olds, 9%, 50 to 64-year-olds, 24%, 65 or older, 49%. So that's usually good for the Republicans. However, like we saw, they are still in the minority when it comes to the early voting data by party registration. Only 22% Republicans. Now let's look at gender. If this loads. Okay, so very, very good for the Democrats. So 57% are women and only 43% are men. And if, like we've seen in the past, women favor Democrats more than Republicans. So Democrats want to maintain this lead with the women, and they definitely want to maintain this lead with party registration. Now look at this ballots requested. So we saw this earlier, 57 Democrats, 19% Republicans. Let's see age. Look at that. 18 to 29, 17%, 30 to 39, 12%, 40 to 49, 9%, 50 to 64, 18%, 65 or over, 44%. So that's good for the Republicans. They want to have that lead if they want to cause some damage to Kamala Harris. Obviously, the possibility of Donald Trump winning New York is zero. I don't think it's going to happen. So let's look at gender. Oh, so this, very good for the Democrats. Very good for the Democrats. So they want to have this lead with the women, like I said before. 59% for ballots requested for women, 41% for men. This is honestly expected in New York, as Democrats are going to come out in New York, especially in an election as close as this one. If this was the midterms, it'd probably be lower. So, yeah, so the New York is a solid Democrat state. There'll be 28 electoral votes, and it will most likely go to Kamala Harris, as she is expected to win. as these 538 polls show. So, and I've already said that Kamala Harris will win New York as it's a solid Democrat state. Biden easily won it. I believe Hillary easily won it. Let me see. I'll go back to 2016. See how much Hillary won it by. So Hillary won New York by 22 points. That's still less than Biden won it by, but it's still around that margin. So we can expect Kamala Harris to possibly win it around that margin. I doubt it will be lower than Clinton's, and I doubt it will be higher than Biden's. So what we can expect is probably a very same margin around compared to both 2016 and 2020. Hillary won it by 22 points. Biden won it by 23 points. Or 23 points. Where will Harris win it by? Really hard to say. As I said before, this early voting data is still just early. It's early, and we still do not have a picture painted for us yet, but we will once we get into November. So this early voting data looks very, very good for the Democrats. And if I was Kamala Harris in her campaign, I'd be very happy. So currently elected officials in New York. We have the Democrat Governor Kathy Hochul. She's been the governor since 2021. We have the Senator Charles Schumer, who as of right now is the majority leader of the Senate. And we have the senator who's actually up for re-election this year, Kristen Gillibrand, who will probably win, by a landslide. Well, not like a big landslide, but still. She'll probably win by 20 to 25 points. She actually has won some landslides before, as she was a very young senator. But she's been a senator for a while now, so she'll probably win big. How New York voted in past presidential elections: 2012, 63% were Democrats, 35% were Republicans. 2016, 59% were Democrats, 36% Republicans. And 4 years ago, 2020, 60% were Democrats, 37% are Republicans. So you're starting to see that there was a little bit of a decline for the Democrats, but still holding on to that lead by very much. Vote margin by state in the 2020 presidential election, look at that. Look at that. With California, obviously that makes sense, but here's New York. Here's New York if it... Oh, I thought it... But here's Illinois. Look at that. Because Illinois, New York, California, all solid Democrat states. Here are those margins I was talking about. Biden won it. Got 60% of the vote in 2020. Donald Trump only got 37%. And Hillary Clinton got 59% of the vote, and Donald Trump only got 36%. So Biden had definitely got a little more percent of the vote, and so did Donald Trump. Donald Trump had an improvement 4 years ago compared to the first time he ran, losing it to Hillary Clinton and then losing it to Joe Biden, and most likely will lose it to Kamala Harris. New York is a solid Democrat state. The possibility of Democrats or Republicans winning it, very low, very low. Yeah, D plus 60, R30, R39. This is men. Okay, so men 60 to 39, women 62 to 37, white 50 to 48, black 94 to 6. You see black people really coming out for Democrats. Hispanic and Latinos 76 to 22. Asian, not enough data so far. So college graduate 71 to 28. No college degree 52 to 47. So no college degrees usually go to Republicans most of the time. Republicans do very good with the no college degree. And the white people, by the way, and men, usually men too. But Joe Biden winning these is actually kind of surprising to me. Usually Donald Trump does better. He'll probably do better with no college degrees around this time and possibly leading Kamala Harris in this. But let's see. So that was 2020. This is 2016. Men 50 to 46, women 66 to 31, which is expected. Hillary Clinton was a female candidate. She was a senator. White 45 to 51. Donald Trump leading Hillary Clinton in 2016 for white people, which also not surprising. Like I said before, white men with no college degrees usually go to Republicans. Blacks, no surprise there, usually goes to Democrats. Hispanic Latinos, no surprise there again, 74% going to Hillary Clinton in 2016. And if you look at that, there was an increase for Joe Biden in 2020 for Hispanic and Latinos. Asian, once again, no data. College graduate, 62% to 35%. Once again, no surprise. And Joe Biden had an incline probably because of the more voter turnout in 2020 compared to 2016, which will be very interesting in 2024 if we get a higher turnout or a lower turnout. I doubt that Kamala Harris will get more votes than Joe Biden's 81 million, but anything is possible and it could happen, especially with what is on stake with the ballots. Anyway, so no college degrees. Look at that, 53% to 44%. So you saw Joe Biden had a decline, a 1% decline in that, and Donald Trump actually gained when Hillary Clinton and to Joe Biden 4 years later. He gained by 3 points with the no college degrees, which isn't surprising. No college degrees usually favor Republicans, so it was good news for Donald Trump in 2020. Will he get more than that? He probably will. I think he will. He could possibly, as I said before, lead Kamala Harris with these no college degrees. So let's go down a little more. Okay, so that is it for New York. That is it for New York. So like I said, New York will probably win. Or Kamala Harris will probably win New York by a solid margin, as they always do. Joe Biden won it by solid margins. Hillary Clinton won it by solid margins. Barack Obama won it both times, 2012, 2008, if this loads. Democrats won it both times, 2004, 2000, and you get, but it's been blue ever since 1984. Ever since 1984. If this loads, this is very slow. Okay, so this was the last time New York ever went red for Ronald Reagan by 8 points. Ever since then, it has gone Democrat for over 20 years. So this November would mark 20 years it has been voting for the Democrats. So the possibilities of Republicans winning back New York, very unlikely. But there's also those House races that went well for the Republicans 2 years ago, and Democrats are hoping to flip the script on them this year to try and win back some of those House races and possibly retake the House from Mike Johnson. So we'll see how that goes. We'll see how the House races go. We'll see how that Senate race goes with Gilbrandt. Probably a landslide. Possibly not, but I doubt it. And if you look at that, we're almost less than 8 days away from Election Day. And let's see. How many days until Joe Biden leaves office? 83 days until Joe Biden leaves office. Now, I know that's a lot. We still have November. We still have December, and then January 20th. So that is 3 months away. We are still a long time until Joe Biden leaves office, and either Kamala Harris or Donald Trump is inaugurated as the 47th president of the United States. But anyways, yeah, that was the New York voting early data I wanted to take a look at. And very good news for Kamala Harris. Very good news with the Democrats. So I'd be very happy if I was Kamala Harris and the Democrats getting this data. I think they're satisfied with the results. I do believe that they are very satisfied with these results. I would definitely be satisfied with these results if I was Kamala Harris and the Democrats. And if I was Donald Trump and his campaign, I honestly really wouldn't focus on all of this. I'd be definitely focused on, the positive results they're getting in Florida. They're getting very positive results in Florida, and I'd be very happy with getting those results. But I'd also probably focus on the swing states, such as like Michigan, Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, probably Georgia, and Arizona and Nevada. So I'd focus on those if I was the Trump campaign. However, if I was the Harris campaign, I'd definitely put my fist in the air and declare this as a win. Although, like I said before, we are still on day 2 of early voting. Republicans probably still yet to vote. Early data, as usually, early voting data favors Democrats. So we are going to see in these next couple, 8 days? We're 8 days. We're going to see what happens. And yeah, we'll see what happens with all of this information that will come out in this next week. And we will see what happens. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked this video, consider liking and subscribing down below. And following my Twitter @VoteBreakdown. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.